General Hospital. Port Charles on the brink of chaos, kidnappings, deceptions, and a desperate search for truth. Port Charles is a city perpetually teetering on the edge of a precipice. A place where secrets fester, loyalties are tested, and danger lurks around every corner. This coming week, the fragile piece of the city is set to shatter into a million pieces, as a maelstrom of chaos, heartbreak, and suspense descends upon its residents. According to the latest General Hospital spoilers for the week of July 7th to 11th, fans are in for a roller coaster of emotions, with multiple storylines reaching a fever pitch. A shocking kidnapping will send shockwaves through the Quartermaine and Corinthos families, while the truth about a mysterious death will be revealed, only to open a Pandora's box of new questions and vengeful desires. As old wounds are ripped open and new alliances are forged in the crucible of desperation, one thing is certain: life in Port Charles will never be the same again. The abduction of Daisy Celeste, a mother's worst nightmare. The joy of new parenthood is a fragile bubble, easily burst by the harsh realities of the world. For Sasha Corbin and Michael Corinthos, that bubble is about to be brutally popped. Spoilers reveal that their infant daughter, Daisy Celeste, will vanish from her crib, plunging her parents into a terrifying abyss of fear and despair. The idyllic scene of a loving family will be replaced by the chilling image of an empty crib and a mother's anguished cry echoing through the Quartermaine mansion. Sasha, a woman who has already endured unimaginable loss with the death of her son Liam, will be pushed to her breaking point. The video preview shows a distraught Sasha yelling Daisy's name, her face a mask of raw terror. This new trauma will undoubtedly reopen old wounds, forcing Sasha to confront her deepest fears and insecurities. Her journey through grief has been a central and poignant part of her character arc, and this latest tragedy will test her resilience in ways she never imagined. Will she find the strength to fight for her daughter, or will the darkness of her past consume her once more? Michael, on the other hand, will be consumed by a different kind of darkness: guilt and rage. The spoilers suggest a powerful scene where a distraught Sasha lashes out at him, accusing him of not doing enough to protect their family. Michael has been so consumed by his vendetta against his father, Sonny, that he may have inadvertently left his own family vulnerable. The kidnapping of his daughter will be a brutal wake-up call, forcing him to confront the consequences of his obsession. The weight of his guilt, coupled with the terror of losing his child, will undoubtedly fuel a relentless and perhaps reckless search for Daisy. The Quartermaine mansion, a place of wealth and privilege, will become a house of horrors. The family will rally together, but the disappearance of Daisy will expose the cracks in their gilded facade. The investigation into the kidnapping will be led by the formidable Jordan Ashford, who will soon discover that this is no ordinary abduction. The kidnappers are not looking for money. Their demand is far more sinister and perplexing: bring us Jason Morgan alive. This shocking ransom demand throws a wrench into the already complicated dynamics of Port Charles. Jason Morgan, Sonny's loyal enforcer and a legendary figure in the city's criminal underworld, is presumed dead. The demand for his return raises a myriad of questions. Is Jason still alive? So where has he been? And what connection does he have to Daisy's kidnappers? The revelation that the kidnappers used a burner phone from the notorious Pikeman network to track Daisy's smartwatch further complicates matters, suggesting a deep-rooted conspiracy that goes far beyond a simple kidnapping. This isn't just a personal attack on the Corinthos and Quartermaine families. It's a calculated move by a powerful and dangerous organization. Speculation is rampant about the identity of the kidnapper and their connection to Miss Hope, a mysterious figure who has been communicating with children in Port Charles through a disguised reading app. The fact that the kidnapper used language that would appeal to a child, promising Daisy a reunion with her real family, suggests a chillingly manipulative and predatory individual or group at work. Could Miss Hope be a front for a cult-like organization, one that preys on vulnerable children and families? The language used by the kidnapper, "This looks like Harmony's old group or something worse," hints at a possible connection to Harmony Miller, a former cult member who caused immense pain in Port Charles. This connection to a dark chapter in the city's past will only intensify the fear and paranoia that grips its residents. The enigma of Natalia Ramirez's death, Sonny's freedom, and a lingering mystery. While the Quartermaine family is plunged into a nightmare, another long-standing mystery is about to be resolved, at least partially. Sonny Corinthos, who has been under a cloud of suspicion for the murder of Natalia Ramirez, is about to be exonerated. The weekly preview shows Anna Devane in a tense interrogation room with Sonny and Laura Collins, revealing the shocking truth from Natalia's altered autopsy report. Natalia's death was not a murder but the result of a deadly cocktail of alcohol and narcotics. This revelation will undoubtedly have a profound impact on the power dynamics in Port Charles. Sonny's newfound freedom will allow him to reclaim his position at the top of the city's criminal empire, but it will also raise new questions. Who altered the autopsy report and why? Was it an attempt to frame Sonny, or was someone else trying to cover their tracks? Anna's investigation into Natalia's death will lead her to confront the enigmatic Sidwell, a man with a dark past and a complicated connection to the Ramirez family. Sidwell vehemently denies any involvement in Natalia's death, but his shady past and his connections to the criminal underworld make him a prime suspect. His son Marco, consumed by a burning desire for revenge against Sonny, will be another wild card in this dangerous game. The news of Sonny's innocence will likely fuel Marco's anger and frustration, potentially pushing him to take matters into his own hands. The resolution of Natalia's murder investigation will not bring closure but will instead open up a new chapter of intrigue and danger. The question of who is truly responsible for her death will continue to haunt the residents of Port Charles, and the answers may be far more shocking than anyone could have imagined. The tangled web of love and deception, Jocelyn and Dex's risky game. In the midst of the chaos and despair, a dangerous game of love and deception is being played out in the shadows. Jocelyn Jax and Dex Heller, two young lovers with a shared desire to bring down Sonny Corinthos, are putting their lives and their relationship on the line. Their plan to infiltrate Sonny's organization by using an animal rights organization as a front is both audacious and incredibly risky. The spoilers show Jocelyn and Dex's plan in motion, as they attempt to manipulate Emma, a close associate of Sonny, by appealing to her love for animals. Jocelyn's transformation from a relatively innocent young woman to a cunning and manipulative operative is a fascinating and morally ambiguous character arc. She is willing to lie, cheat, and deceive to achieve her goals, and the spoilers suggest that her mother, Carly, is beginning to suspect that something is amiss. Jocelyn and Dex's relationship is a central element of this storyline. Their love for each other is undeniable, but it is also being tested by the dangerous game they are playing. The constant threat of exposure and the moral compromises they are forced to make will undoubtedly take a toll on their relationship. The question is, will their love be strong enough to withstand the pressure, or will their quest for revenge tear them apart? The potential for their plan to backfire is immense. Sonny is a notoriously savvy and ruthless operator, and he is not one to be underestimated. If he discovers their deception, the consequences could be devastating, not just for Jocelyn and Dex but for everyone they care about. The stakes are incredibly high, and the upcoming week will likely see Jocelyn and Dex walking a tightrope between love and revenge, with their very lives hanging in the balance. Family secrets and past traumas, the Spencers and the Courtemains. The turmoil in Port Charles is not limited to kidnappings and criminal conspiracies. The past is also coming back to haunt some of the city's most prominent families, forcing them to confront long-buried secrets and unresolved traumas. Lulu Spencer and Dante Falconeri, a couple who have already endured their fair share of heartache, will be faced with a new challenge when their son Rocco begins asking questions about his biological mother, Britt Westbourne. This will force Lulu and Dante to revisit the complicated and painful history of Rocco's conception, a story that involves in vitro fertilization, surrogacy, and a stolen embryo. The emotional weight of this revelation will undoubtedly put a strain on their already fragile relationship. Lulu's own past traumas will also be brought to the forefront, as she exhibits increasingly aggressive behavior. The preview shows a shocking scene where Lulu punches Brooke Lynn Quartermaine Chase in the face, a violent outburst that suggests she is struggling to cope with the emotional turmoil in her life. This could be a sign that her past experiences, including her own kidnapping and brainwashing, are resurfacing, and she may be in desperate need of help. Meanwhile, Brooke Lynn and Chase are also navigating their own relationship struggles. After a period of conflict and misunderstanding, they are finally on the road to reconciliation. However, the chaos in Port Charles will undoubtedly test their newfound happiness. The kidnapping of Daisy will put a strain on the entire Quartermaine family, and Brooke, Lynn and Chase will have to rely on their love and support for each other to get through this difficult time. The Corinthos clan in turmoil. A father, his sons and a crumbling empire. The Corinthos family, the undisputed royal family of Port Charles, is on the verge of implosion. The growing rift between Sonny and his sons Michael and Dante is threatening to tear the family apart. Michael's relentless pursuit of revenge against his father has blinded him to the dangers lurking in the shadows, and the kidnapping of his daughter will force him to confront the devastating consequences of his actions. Sonny, despite his recent exoneration, is still a man under siege. He is facing threats from all sides and his relationship with his sons is at an all-time low. The upcoming week will see him struggling to maintain control of his crumbling empire while also trying to protect his family from the forces that are determined to destroy them. The Corinthos family saga has always been about the complex interplay of love, loyalty, and betrayal. This week, those themes will be explored in a more intense and dramatic way than ever before. The choices that Sonny, Michael, and Dante make in the face of this new crisis will have far-reaching consequences, not just for their family but for the entire city of Port Charles. Conclusion: a city on the edge. The upcoming week in General Hospital promises to be a heart-stopping, edge-of-your-seat experience. The stakes have never been higher, and the lives of some of Port Charles's most beloved characters are hanging in the balance. Will Daisy be found safe? Will Sonny be able to protect his family from the forces that are closing in on them? Will Jocelyn and Dex's dangerous game end in triumph or tragedy? And will the residents of Port Charles be able to find a way to heal and rebuild in the aftermath of this devastating storm? The answers to these questions remain to be seen, but one thing is for sure: the drama in Port Charles is about to reach a whole new level of intensity. So buckle up, General Hospital fans, because this is one week you won't want to miss. The city is on the brink of chaos, and the only thing that is certain is that nothing will ever be the same again. Tune in to see how these gripping storylines unfold and discover the shocking truths that lie hidden in the heart of Port Charles. Thanks for watching this videos. Please hit the subscribe button for more updated news.